It pleased King Darius to set over the kingdom 120 satraps, to be throughout the whole kingdom. And over these 3 administrators, of whom Daniel was one, that the satraps might give account to them, so that the king would suffer no loss. Now Daniel so distinguished himself among the administrators, and the satraps by his exceptional qualities, that the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. Then the other administrators and satraps began to seek to find a pretext against Daniel in connection with the kingdom. But they were not able to find any pretext in corruption, because he was trustworthy, and no negligence or corruption could be found in him. Then these men said, "We shall not find any ground for complaint against this Daniel, unless we find it in connection with the law of his God." So these governors and satraps went before the king and said to him, "King Darius, live forever. The royal administrators, prefects, satraps, advisors, and governors have all agreed that the king should issue an edict and enforce the decree that anyone who prays to any god or person during the next 30 days, except to you, your majesty, shall be thrown into the lion's den. Now, O king, establish the edict, and you must sign the document, so that it cannot be changed, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be revoked." Therefore King Darius signed the document and injunction. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went home, and in his upper room, with his windows open toward Jerusalem, he knelt down on his knees 3 times that day, and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as was his custom since early days. Then these men went as a group and found Daniel praying and asking God for help. Then they approached and spoke with the king concerning the edict of the king. "Did you not sign an edict that any person who would seek anything from any god or human within 30 days, except from you, O king, would be thrown into the lion pit?" The king answered and said, "The matter as you have just stated is certain, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be revoked." Then they said to the king, "Daniel, who is one of the exiles from Judah, pays no attention to you, O king, or the injunction you have signed, but makes his petition 3 times a day." And the king, when he heard these words, was greatly displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. Then the men went as a group to King Darius and said to him, "Remember, your majesty, that according to the law of the Medes and Persians, no decree or edict that the king issues can be changed." Then the king gave the command, and Daniel was brought in, and they threw him into the lion pit. The king said to Daniel, "Your God, whom you serve faithfully, may he rescue you." And a stone was brought and laid on the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his lords, that nothing might be changed concerning Daniel. Now the king went to his palace and spent the night fasting, and no musicians were brought before him, nor did he sleep. At the first light of dawn, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. And when he came near to the pit, he cried out to Daniel with a distressed voice. And the king spoke and said to Daniel, "O Daniel, servant of the living God, your God whom you serve faithfully, was he able to rescue you from the lions?" Then Daniel said to the king, "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths, so that they have not hurt me, because I was found innocent before him. And also, O king, I have done no wrong before you." The king was overjoyed and gave orders to lift Daniel out of the den. And when Daniel was lifted from the den, no wound was found on him, because he had trusted in his God. The king then commanded, and these men were brought who had accused Daniel. And they threw them and their children and their wives into the lion pit. And they had not reached the floor of the pit before the lions had overpowered them, and they had crushed all of their bones. Then King Darius wrote to all the peoples, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, "Peace be multiplied to you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men must tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and steadfast forever. His kingdom is the one which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall endure to the end. He rescues and he saves. He performs signs and wonders. In the heavens and on the earth, he has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." So this Daniel prospered during the kingdom of Darius and during the kingdom of Cyrus the Persian.